Hello, VC. So, VC, what's been going on lately? Anyway, sorry, just couldn't resist. This is going to be a drama-free video. It's just showing records. Why not, right? So anyway, last couple days, I'm doing what I do, look for some good albums to take home. And this is a video showing the latest catch. So we'll start it with Pink Floyd. The album is Wish You Were Here, and this is a copy that is in half-speed mastering. Yes, and it is on the Columbia label. There we are. Funny thing is, I was having a discussion with LJ about buying this album, and I already have this. Before this, I already had 2 copies of this album. You know, one just a regular used stereo, US copy. The other was a UK fan club special edition pressing that was on yellow vinyl. And now this. And I was talking to him. I said, do I really need 3 copies of the same freaking album? And he just said, well, hey, that's a sickness, man. And don't get me wrong, the half-speed mastering sounds fantastic. It sounds better than the older copies I have. This sounds really, really good. And it was, of course, worth it, as I knew it would be, so what's my problem? I don't know, to tell you the truth. I just couldn't believe I felt like I needed 3 copies of Wish You Were Here, which is not even my favorite Pink Floyd album. I mean, I love this album, don't get me wrong, but it's not my favorite. But it's damn good, and yeah, well, in half-speed mastering, it just sounds incredible. So, and this is the only place I can come to where people understand the need to own multiple copies of the same record. It's not like there's different songs on it. It's still the same songs. It's still the same arrangement. It's just the collector, and you just can't resist. And I couldn't resist. Saw this on the shelf and had to buy it. So, Pink Floyd. Again. Anyway, moving on. The next one up is The Who, Sell Out. I finally found a decent copy of it. I wouldn't say this is a great copy. It's decent. The spine is kind of falling apart. I don't know if the camera will pick that up nicely or not, but not the best copy of it as far as the condition of the cover. The vinyl plays fantastic, absolutely fantastic. This is a stereo copy, and it came with the original Decca insert. And let me take this album. It's on the Decca label, obviously. So there we are. A really nice copy. You know, my only hope: no scratches, no skips, and mission accomplished. It is a good stereo copy of this album. Loved this album. It was fun to listen to this. I really love the song I Could See for Miles. That is one of my ultimate favorite Who songs. I have a bunch of them actually, but that's one of them. Really cool song, and sounds great on this album, as well as the rest of the songs on this record. Of course, you got the commercials in between the songs that are real funny to listen to. The cover is real humorous, if you bother to read all this stuff down here. Fun album to have. Being a Who fan, I always wanted to score one. It was just a matter of time until I could find a decent enough copy to bring home, and here we are. Bam. This next album I bought because Lindsay was showing it on one of her videos, The Blank Pages. And she made it look so cool, I had to get one now. And it's an album I always see digging, but just was never inspired to buy it until I saw Lindsay's video. And it's the self-titled Vanilla Fudge album. And this is such a fun album. Well, not fun, but groovy album to listen to. I swear, if I were a drug-type person and I want a nice album to trip to, this would probably be one of them. But I'm not that, but still a fun album to listen to. And this is what blows me away about this album. This picture of Carmine Aparicio, that's how you say his last name, the legendary drummer. There he is right down there in the bottom corner. It does not look like him at all. That's how much time has passed since this album was first released. I saw that picture like, whoa, that does not look like him at all. He's such a good drummer, powerhouse drummer. Inspired John Bonham. And this is such a great album. This is a mono copy. And there's the original insert that came with the album. It's on Adco, mono copy from Adco. And look at this label. That is definitely old school. old school. Anyway, pretty cool album, man. All the covers on here were really fun to listen to. Ticket to Ride, People Get Ready, She's Not There, Keep Me Hanging On, Eleanor Rigby. Some cool, different psychedelic versions, cover versions of those songs. So I enjoyed this album. This was fun to have. All right, the next 1, 2, 3 records. Well, actually, almost the rest of the stack is kind of like going back to my late teens when metal music was somewhat popular. Well, not somewhat, but very popular. And I just saw these records in the record store, and I just thought it'd be fun to reminisce with them. The first one I know I had to buy because I wasn't going to see it in a vinyl store probably ever again, and that's what made it a must-have. It is from Cacophony, which featured Marty Freeman and Jason Becker, and the album is called Speed Metal Symphony. I've jammed with a lot of rock guitarist buddies and who are into 80s metal playing the shredding. This was an album they held in highest regards as one of their most inspirational records to listen to pick up on tricks and get inspired by rock metal guitaring. This was the album, one of many albums. So I always heard bits and pieces of it. You know, I jam with guys on guitar. They say, "Hey man, check this out. This is shred." And they play me maybe a clip of each song, and they would give me the lowdown on both guitarists, Becker and Friedman. And it was just so cool to finally score this on a vinyl record. Really, really nice. It's on Shrapnel Records, as you can see here. Really nice. And it's taken me all these years to finally listen to it in its entirety. I think it came out in 1987. Jason Becker was 17 when he recorded this record, along with Marty Freeman and my own. And so it's been around for a long time, and I finally getting my hands on it. The interesting thing about this record, I wish it was all instrumental. There's a vocalist on here, and his vocals, I think, just get in the way of the music. When he doesn't sing and the guitar shredding takes over, this album is really something special, and I just think the vocals get in the way. And this album later inspired me to watch Jason Becker's documentary, Not Dead Yet. And yeah, I've always heard of his story through other people. You know, how he was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease when he was 19. You know, was unable to move anything on any part of his body. Wasn't able to speak. You know, he went from walking with a cane to, you know, getting around in a wheelchair to the point where he was completely paralyzed, but was still writing music while he was struggling with this disease. And yeah, I don't know, I found the documentary, number one, heartbreaking, but God, it was so inspirational that he was still cranking out music when he was completely paralyzed. The guy is such an inspiration. I mean, not just to me, but to a lot of people. Just recently with me, and I was glad I finally watched that documentary. If you really want to be moved, just look up Jason Becker, Not Dead Yet documentary, and you'll see his story. Man, just completely inspiring. He's such an amazing person, and this was a good album, so glad I picked that one up. Next up is the debut album from Extreme, the self-titled Extreme. This is a UK import copy. Extreme's first album. I don't know much about Extreme. I mean, I never owned anything by them. The only songs I've heard is the songs everybody else has heard. Wholehearted was my favorite song from them. But I saw this in my vinyl store for like $4 or $5, and I looked at it. At first I was gonna pass, but I was like, you know what? I'm never gonna see this again. It's not costing me a lot. Why not take it home? And I did, and it's an enjoyable listen. I wouldn't say it's a great record, but it's an enjoyable listen. And it's on A&M Records. And you know, the best would come later with these guys. And I always liked Gary Sharon's voice. Gary Sharon, great voice. The biggest mistake he made was joining Van Halen, but still, let's not hold that against him. Still a good singer. And so really happy to have scored the debut from Extreme. This is for around here, I think it's kind of pretty much a rare find to find a UK import. So nice to have this. Next up is a 12-inch maxi single from Youngie Malmsteen, if that's how you say his damn name, and Rising Force, for the song I'll See the Light Tonight. This is a combination of studio and live tracks, so side 1 has a studio version of I'll See the Light Tonight, and then side 2 has live versions recorded from Japan, 85, for the songs Far Beyond the Sun and I'm a Viking. Listen to this. This was actually a lot of fun to listen to. I don't have any of his records either. I just remember him from watching Headbangers Ball. And as you can see, it's on the Polydor label. Really nice 12-inch maxi single. Yeah, I just remember him from Headbangers Ball, and the stories I used to hear about him, or rumors I should say, is, you know, obviously a gifted guitarist with a lot of talent, but asshole in person. That's pretty much what I heard about this guy. So I guess with that kind of, and I don't know if it's true, it's just the rumor going around the campfire, but knowing that kind of turned me off on him, and never really got into him. So this is like the first thing I ever owned from him, and it's really good actually. I did enjoy it. I can't say I want to meet him in person one day, but nice album. All right, this is just a read. Well, I'll get to that later. From the band Triumph, Progression of Power. This is just one Triumph album I was missing. The big song here is I Live for the Weekend. I do love that song. It's really good. And here came with the original insert. So not bad, not bad, not bad. And it is on RCA Victor, which is funny because on the album cover it says it's from Attic Records, and it would have been cool to see an Attic label, but oh well, I'll take RCA Victor. The CD's skipping, folks. That's weird, but anyway. This is I love Triumph. Just good time rock and roll, and always a fun records to listen to. They're cheap. You can always find them in the record store for like $1.50. And this one was in really good shape. Didn't have it in the collection before, and was really happy to score it. As well as the rebuy of Triumph's Allied Forces. One of my favorite Triumph albums, actually. And mine was in just god-awful shape. So it was nice to replace it with this really nice copy. Look at that cover. Not a mark on it. Really nice. And we have the original insert with a nice color picture of the band. Baggage with lyrics, nothing special. Also on RCA Victor, but a nice clean vinyl record. Played this and smooth. A lot better than my older copy. So really happy to put that in the collection. And I love those pictures. I wish concerts like that still existed. Look at that. Doesn't that just scream fun? Good time rock and roll, man. I miss it so much. So much. So anyway, upgraded copy of Allied Forces from Triumph. And another one, another rock album, Foreigner, Inside Information. And I have to be honest with you folks, the only reason I bought this was for the two songs, Heart Turns Stone and Say You Will, because I remember those songs from back in the day and always liked them. So that was the only reason I bought the record. I wasn't familiar with much of anything else. It's a gatefold record. There's the gatefold. Nice photo of the band, and front and back. And the label on this one, just take it out and find out, is on, oh, it's a custom label. So, forgot about that. Listened to this last night, and it's a good copy, and it's a good album, too. I thought maybe, I was kind of afraid to listen to this. I was like, what's the only like the songs that I'm familiar with, and hate the rest. And the rest of it actually is not bad. Real catchy AOR rock. Some quick, catchy songs to listen to. This was a good album just to hang out with, so really glad I picked this one up. It also has that ballad, I Don't Want to Live Without You, which I forgot was on this record. Really good to hear that again. And here's my nod to Dave, Dark Side of the Zoom, the soundtrack to the Blues Brothers movie. This is such a fucking fun album. I spun this like 3 times already, and I have a blast with this album. I remember seeing this movie when it first came out in the theaters. I had to be about 9 years old. That's how old my ancient ass is. And it was, for a 9-year-old kid who probably doesn't understand adult humor yet, this was such a fun album, fun movie to watch in the theater. You know, great jokes, singing, dancing, and a bunch of car chases in it. You know, this was a fun album, a fun movie. And it is a fun album. And it's on the Atlantic label. So there we go. And of course a song by Ray Charles is on here, which is, what is that name of that song? Shake a Tail Feather. Think, which was sung by Aretha Franklin. Minnie the Moocher, which is sung by Cab Calloway. Fun album. It will get a lot of spins. I think this is probably, of all my albums that are movie soundtracks, this is my favorite. Alright, time to show just some 45s here that I found that I really liked. From Tears for Fears, Mother's Talk, from the album, well, we know what album it's from. Everybody, this is the VC, we all know where this is from. One of my favorite songs from Tears for Fears, was really glad to score this. It is on the Mercury label, I like the blue label, so really nice to spin this. I didn't have any Tears for Fears 45s, I have a ton of the 12 inches singles and albums, so it was nice to kind of get a hold of a 45 record from them. And why is it? It's easy to take these things out. It is a bitch to put them back in the sleeve. They just fight with you and fight with you. They only fight with you when you got the camera on. God forbid they fight with you when you're just kicking back in the music room with a beer. Anyway. From Yes, the song Rhythm of Love. I never cared for this album from Yes, but I do love this song. So now I have the 45, so I don't have to sit through the entire album. I can just listen to the song I'm after, which is Rhythm of Love. I always like that song. It's on Adco. There we go. So, no need to go to my album anymore. I'll just go to this. That's where the goods are. And from The Doors, LA Woman. I like this label, this spun gold Electra label. Can't talk today, goddamn. So there we are. And on the B side, we have Roadhouse Blues from The Doors. 2 classic songs from The Doors. I thought this looked attractive to me, so why not? Love both songs, and they sound great on the 45. And I didn't stop there. From The Doors, the song Light My Fire on the Elektra label. Really nice looking old time label. That is old school there. Look at that. Nice, very nice. And on the B side we have the Crystal Ship. Obviously listen to Light My Fire. I haven't listened to the B side on that one yet, and it came of course with the Elektra sleeve, so really, really nice to have. Alright, well that's going to do it for my vinyl finds for this video. It's funny to see when the VC, something happens in the VC and everybody gets all fired up and some drama starts going and everybody starts throwing their opinions on videos that are like damn near a half hour long. It happens every now and then things go back to normal and there goes my CD skipping again. Wow. Anyway, that's going to do it for King's Drummer on a drama-free video. just sharing love of music and skipping CD. See you next time, folks.